Hello, traders. It's 7 a.m. Chicago time on Thursday, the 30th of July, 2020. This is episode number 1808, 1808. This is a pre-recorded episode. I will not be around at the normal time, 9 o'clock Eastern, and through the open today, as I need to take care of some things relating to my kids. Derivatives trading is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This morning, we have quite an active market. Um, the market sentiment is risk off for sure. The cable leading the pack today, followed by the Bund. The Bund is up 68 ticks, or 0.38% on prices. On the futures price, the bonds are up 20 ticks, the 10-year notes up 4.5 ticks, and the dollar is up 5 cents, trading at 93.48. The DAX is the laggard, taking a big hit today. The DAX is down 313 points. A German CPI was just released a moment ago. Came in lower than the estimate of 0.1, came in at negative 0.1 for July preliminary. Overall, earnings have been released. Today is a heavy earnings day. Procter & Gamble beats. The adjusted EPS comes in at $1.16 versus $1.01. Comcast also reported coming in at 69 cents versus 55 cents. Northrop Grumman, Eli Lilly, UPS, Cigna, all kinds of releases. And this afternoon, there are some really big ones as well. The earnings calendar today looks very busy. This afternoon, we do get Apple, we get Amazon, we get Alphabet, we get Facebook. Those are the big techs. We also get Ford and others, Gilead, and so on and so on. Very busy day in terms of economic releases. So that's where that stands. Where's given the rally that we had yesterday, the S&Ps at this hour, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern AM on Thursday at this hour, the S&P's down approximately 27 points, trading at 3226, down 0.8%, and all the indices are lower. We have basically taken back our entire rally yesterday. Going into the FOMC, the market was squeezing shorts all day long, only for those shorts to find that we have had a range of approximately 47 points down from the high. We have a double top with yesterday's high overnight, and the market just immediately turned and rolled over. So that's where we stand today. Let's take a look at what we expected yesterday. Well, let's take a look at the calendar, actually. I did talk about the earnings already. We do get GDP here at the bottom of the hour, GDP growth. The growth rate is expected to come in for Q on Q2 is expected to come in at negative 33%. Negative 33%. That's really breathtaking there. The prior is negative 5%. And again, U.S. GDP growth rate Q on Q advanced Q2 is expected at negative 33%, negative 5% prior. And the big one that kind of pushed the market around this morning at about 3 a.m. Chicago time, 4 a.m. Eastern, is the German GDP growth rate year. Q on Q came in at negative 10.1, was expected at negative 9.2. The prior is negative 2, and the GDP growth rate year on year flash for Q2 came in at negative 11.7 versus negative 11.4. What's left after that? We do have initial claims also at 7:30, expecting 1.4 million initial claims. And then we get the MBS manufacturing PMI at 9 p.m. Eastern today from China. So let's take a look at what was expected yesterday. Yesterday I was looking for as a primary scenario, I was looking for the market to be choppy sideways. I was looking for it to dip down into the 3212 area, right down here, and then run up on FOMC. That did not happen at all. The secondary is a small dip at the open and then a trend up that continues after the FOMC. That's basically what happened. We did not get much of a dip on the open. Actually, yesterday, no trades till the FOMC for me. I could not catch this. I just wasn't very attentive, did not catch this rally. But scenario two was basically on yesterday. Here's what the RTH session looked like. We open up, we test by a tick lower. We open up at 3220 and a half. We test the 3220 even. Push up looks like an open auction, and then we pull back. And then we have this large rotation up 10 and a half points, and then from there it really is just a grind. I mean, this rotation. Uh, One thing to note is volume was off about 45% from the 20-day average. Just by 90 minutes in, it was off by 45% lower than usual. And you could see that we actually time on this chart is very compressed because the IB was put in. The IB was put in right here. Normally at this zoom level, the IB would be put in somewhere in here. There was just not enough activity to form new bars, and that's why I use a 4-tick Renko or a non-time based trigger chart. Remember, I only look at this chart when I'm honing in on an area to trade. Generally, I keep my focus on the intraday chart, which is currently a 5, 15, or 60 minute. So the delta was moving with price yesterday, and we just ground it out. We stayed well ahead of the VWAP and the mid throughout the session. And at some point we had our FOMC right here. We had a small pullback, and then we continued to 32.54 and a quarter. Nice rotation, nice big rotation down during this pullback that got us almost to mid and VWAP, but not quite. And it just continued to grind out, closing the session at the top of the range. Profile that shows that there isn't really acceptance at this point. We closed near highs, and when we reopened, we basically tested that high again at 57 before we sold off. Note the delta was positive with price, but again, volume was really weak. Here's what's happened since then. So this represents yesterday's full session. This is yesterday's RTH in the shaded area. RTH, it has its own profile. This is a full session profile. This is an RTH only profile. I keep it nice and dark so as not to be too bright. And what we see here is we open and we push right up. And overall, we have basically reversed. This is today's profile right here. This is a full Globex profile. So far today, the volume is higher than what we had yesterday in the Globex. Of course, I'm an hour early here. So the overall volume is actually relatively higher than yesterday's Globex session. And you can see that the range is quite active. The profile has a small distribution and a large distribution on the bottom, whereas this profile here has a smaller distribution and a large distribution at the top. But remember, this large distribution was made during RTH, and so the volume is quite heavy at that point. If the S&P stays down here, this distribution is likely to become much more pronounced, which tells us that the market is really coming back and holding balance holding balance overall. It does have a hard time making these new highs like it did day before yesterday, pushing into the single prints at 45.75 and falling right off. What we are seeing here is it's pushing to higher prices and it's falling right off. The expectation now that we took out the 46 and we are pushing through the composite low volume node, which is at 39 right here. Let me change this back. Actually, I don't like this in gray. It blends in too much. This composite's important. So here's the composite low volume node. If I squish this down, you'll see what the composite looks like. We've spent a lot of time in this region here in balance. You can see that we've traded quite a bit there, there, there. We've shifted this up and now we've come back. So we are in balance. The expectation is it would go to 65 up here, which has a couple of days of balance in the past. There, from about a week to a week and a half ago, we like these prices up here, and now we like these prices lower. So this morning we are just coming right off. And remember, we have all these earnings and a lot of releases today, and so I'm expecting the session to be quite volatile. We've already covered in the S&P, we've already covered about 47 points of range in the overnight session. And it's looking like it'll be fairly active. And so that's where we stand today. We're beneath mid and VWAP for the full session. We had a nice impulsive move down and with a pullback, and there's the continuation. And now we are likely to chop in here until the open. The expectation is we are likely to hold this this area below 39 and chop around in here for quite some time. Let's take a look at CT Bookmap for a moment. I've been not showing it the last few sessions because I didn't want to muddy up the waters. There's quite a bit going on there already in the chart, and the sessions are getting a little long anyway. So as we look at the overall performance here, you can again see that the volume delta is just trending down, making continuous new lows, and there's quite a bit of activity, a lot of big dots everywhere. Currently, I have this filtered at 50 lots as always, and we're getting a lot of activity in this. 39. Remember that 39 low volume node down to the low, and of course, we have some key areas beneath us. 3207. 3207 is likely to the one-time framing is likely to stop today on the positive side with yesterday's low being 3220. We are sitting here near lows, and as we take that 3220, the next area of attack is 3207 quarter. Beyond that, we start to move towards 200, and then we need to keep an eye on that 3190 area beyond that. So we have some liquidity in the 200, 201 is expected. We have some liquidity in the 3260 area, but in between, there's a lot of popping in and out, back and forth, and there's not much to take away from the heat map. Let's take a look at what's expected for today. Okay, so here's what we're looking at for today. So this morning I don't know where it's going to open. We're at 32.25 currently. The expectation, this is squished a bit too much. So as I said, we have balance that is shifting back down. So overall, it looks like we're shifting the point of control lower. I believe the buyers are temporarily exhausted and have exceeded their run for now. We are looking at retests of 32. the 3200 area, again, 3208.07, 3200, and then 3195 and 3190 below. So 195, 190 is huge. So 190, I'm going to put exclamation points here. This is a big area. And then underneath, above there is 3205 and 3208. Okay. And above the key play here is again 39, 39, and then we're looking at 47 again. And then yesterday's high around the 57 area up here, 57 is key. And then beyond there, 65, 65 is the target up there that's outstanding. Okay. So let me put twos in front of here not to confuse anyone. So the expectation for today, I'm looking for an open auction. We are in the meat of the overnight profile. I'm looking for an open auction that is likely to make a responsive attempt higher. Overnight inventory is short. The delta is short. I'm looking for it to push higher into this region, the 30-ish, 34, 35-ish, 39-ish. Don't know how far it'll go, but I'm expecting impulses to be down. I'm expecting the easier flow of trades to be lower into 3208. This is the MC point of control, and then I'm looking for it to give up yesterday's the overnight low and move towards 3208, 3205 for a potential bounce. If it does not bounce, we have a really big range day. I'm hoping that I'll be back at my in front of my trade station by 9 or 10 o'clock Central, hopefully. But hey, I'm going to be gone today, so expect a lot of volatility. I have a pretty good solid record when it comes to that. Secondary is we open, we push lower. Immediately we have an impulse up. We come back and fight this 32, 28, 29 area, as you know, just an area that's seen a lot of battles. A lot of battles. We even left a low volume node there yesterday. And then we start to drift into the 39, 37, and then squeeze yet again. It's a function really of how the earnings come out and what the market mood is. But overall, given that there's an impulse here and we have a continuation lower, I expect that the market's flow it will be easier to the short side. Very hard to tell today. We are back in balance, and it could be it is most likely to be a wide chop day, that's the key thing that I'm expecting this morning. So, as usual, wait for it to push into excess areas. Make sure that it's pushing up against defined risk. Take the chance, take the shot, and the outcome's random. It's luck, and the market may reward you, or the market may take your stop before it does its next move, and that next move could be to go in your direction ultimately, but we trade for the execution. We don't trade for the P&L. Put your P&L away. If you're watching your P&L, you're really stacking the odds against you, okay? So just make sure that you're trading and staying in the flow of the market. The hardest thing to attain and keep is staying in the flow of the market. If you're in the flow of the market, sooner or later, you're, in my opinion, the alignment, you'll get alignment with the market and you'll end up extracting profits from the market. Again, this is my opinion. I'm not saying to trade futures or anything like that. But if you're just focused on the process and what the narrative is and aligning yourself with that narrative, you'll be rewarded, in my opinion. Good luck today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. And by the way, if you have not taken the time to check out EdgeClear, I would love for you to do that. That's a great way for you to support me in my efforts. Edgeclear.com. I started this brokerage myself. I'm the owner of it. I'm the full owner of it, and we have a group of award-winning brokers who are very, very knowledgeable in the industry, and their job is to take away any concerns about your setup, your platform, your technology, your funds, all that stuff. Take it off your plate, and have you focus entirely on the market. And there's, not only are the prices, the costs kept to a minimum, and our overhead kept to a minimum, but we do have some innovative programs like the Edge Pool program. If you and four other people trade together, you can pull your volume together, of course, in separate accounts, and nobody can see what you're doing in your own account. It's still the same process, but you can pool your volume to achieve lower prices. Again, edgeclear.com. If you contact them, let them know you heard about this during my Trader Bite, and I'm happy to accommodate whatever you need as best as we can. Good luck, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can go to ft71.com/YouTube lowercase, and it'll put you right into the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, don't click again because it unsubscribes you. But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and you'll get notices whenever anything is posted. Good luck.